Okay, welcome everybody, and thank you for joining this call. This call is about a proposal called the MIP upgrade, and we are going to get into details later. But first of all, let me start with explaining a little bit what is the Mina Improvement Proposals process, which is, in my opinion, the main mechanism that we have in the Mina community to make decisions collectively about the future of the Mina protocol. And it's actually very simple. It starts with an idea, so you share your idea on Mina Research. We have a category here for MIPs, for Mina Improvement Proposals. And here is where you can gather feedback and community sentiment and build consensus around your idea. And once you have enough feedback, you can start drafting a proposal. And for that, you can use the template that we have in the Mina protocol repository for MIPS. And once the draft is ready, then you submit it to the GitHub repository as a pull request. Here we have some examples, right? So far, it sounds easy, right? Well, more than 20 ideas have been proposed on Mina Research, and only these three made it so far, got to this point. And these three proposals have been approved by the community via on-chain vote, and they have been implemented in the Berkeley protocol upgrade earlier this year. So I would say that so far it's a good ratio, and this process has proven itself as our main mechanism to make these kind of decisions. And it's a process that is effective and aligned with the wishes of the community. I think here we have, if I'm not mistaken, this process was introduced by Brian McKenna in December 2021. And Brian is here with us. So maybe, Brian, you want to tell us a little bit more about this process?
Sure, yeah. Hi, everyone. The main idea for this process came from the Bitcoin improvement proposal, and following on from that, the Ethereum improvement proposal. It's highly correlated with those improvement proposal schemes. And yeah, it seems like this proposal that we have right now is to put more of a Mina community stamp and evolve it in more of a Mina ethos direction. So yeah, I think it's worked well up to now, but there's always areas for improvement.
Correct. Thank you so much, Brian. Totally. The idea behind this proposal that we presented is that we want to introduce some improvements, some changes to the MIP process. And the main goal is to make it easier for participants, to empower the community to participate in decision making and in defining the future of the Mina protocol. So that's our aim. And it started with an idea, right? First of all, I would like to share this link to a blog post that we published in May this year, which provides a vision for the future of Mina protocol's governance, right? And some principles, and it's a broader long-term plan. And we have been collecting feedback about this vision, and we came up to the conclusion that one of the first steps that we could take in this direction is upgrading the MIP process. So in September, I published this post on Mina Research, sharing an initial draft for this proposal. Here you can read everything and the feedback that we got. There's also videos explaining in 5 minutes all the changes and everything, all the details. But we can get into more details if you have questions, and we can get into it. So as I say, the main objective is to increase community participation and to empower participants. No? And to achieve that, we are initially proposing some changes first. There could be more in the future, right? But to start, these are the ones that we considered more necessary. The first one would be to introduce some new categories for these kind of decisions. So we can not only make decisions on core protocol changes, but we can also, and we have already started discussions about Mina economics and governance processes. So together with that, we wanted to create a pool of experts who can review MIPs in each category. So we could have a pool of experts for engineering and core protocol. We can have another pool of experts ready to review proposals about Mina economics or about Mina governance. And to make the deliberation more engaging and easier for the community to participate, we are proposing the introduction on several mass deliberation tools and public debates to make the process more transparent as well. No? And finally, we are proposing some guidelines for the implementation phase of future MIPs based on the lessons that we learned in previous experience. So this is a high-level summary of the changes that we are proposing. If you click here, you can read the full proposal. And we have been collecting feedback since we started this in September. We had a survey bot on Discord, and we also had comments in Mina Research and other platforms. And we have been continuously refining this proposal until we got to this version of the proposal, which we felt that was already clear enough so that we could start the review process with the MIP editors. No? So I'm going to give you some links. This one is for Mina Research. Here you can find all the discussions that are already ongoing. And then in this one, in this GitHub repository, the link as well, you can see here that I submitted the MIP upgrade as a pull request, no? To ask for the MIP editors to review that I have used the template correctly, that the draft is complete, it is not missing any important parts, so that we can start a review phase with all the community. So anybody can see this page. I hope that you have access to it. And everybody is welcome to provide their feedback and their comments, so we can continuously refine this proposal until we feel like it's ready for a community vote. So yeah, so far, is there any questions, anything you would like me to explain a little bit better? All clear? Okay. Some of the feedback that we got here is around how we are going to implement these changes, how the bootstrapping phase will look like, what is the role of the Mina Foundation, and these kind of things. No? So we are incorporating this feedback into the draft, and maybe by next week you can have a more refined version that incorporates all this feedback. Yes, Logan?
Yeah, I'd like to give some simple questions. If someone submit the MIP, and then if this proposal passed in review, so after that, who run this project? Maybe the Mina Foundation, or do we collaborate, the all ecosystem devs,
Yeah, maybe Brian, you can give more details about that, no? But that's the way I understand it, no? First of all, when you submit a new MIP, the MIP editors will help you and will guide you through the process. And then it's the whole community providing feedback, no, and reviewing your proposal and leaving comments here in GitHub so that you can improve your proposal during the review phase. Maybe we can see here this graph. I hope you can see it right here, right? As I explained, it starts with an idea. This is a little bit more detail on that, no? You propose an idea, you encourage the community to give you feedback. You can also use community polls to check community sentiment. And then you start drafting the proposal. And when you're ready, you submit it as a pull request, and the MIP editors will review it for compliance, not to make sure that it's compliant with the process. If it's accepted, then it starts the review phase, right? And the development teams and the community and other advisors will provide you with technical review and comments in Mina Research or in GitHub or any other platform. No? But then that review is successful, you can proceed with the last call. You finalize your proposal. This is the final version of the proposal, and then you plan for the community vote. And if it's accepted, it can be implemented. That's how the process currently works, right? Did I explain it correctly, Brian?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. So, Brian, obviously, because you are the one who designed this process, you are also acting as a MIP editor, right?
Yes, correct.
Can you tell us what is a MIP editor and what's the role or your responsibilities?
Yeah, good question. Like in a very brief way to say it is that the MIP editor is there to shepherd the proposal through the process. So to help the author both get the proposal in a good enough condition for it to get into the review phase, for example, but also to act as a gate, so that I guess that proposals which are not up to standard don't make it to the idea phase. The MIP editors will leave feedback to the author or proposer and say, hey, your proposal should include this, or have you thought about this or that? And at the point that the proposal is in a good enough condition, it will the PR will be accepted and it will get an official MIP number. And at that point, the MIP is officially in the process and is in community review. There's also like a coordination aspect to the role, which is making sure that the MIP is getting socialized among the community enough such that the community have many opportunities to review and leave feedback. Like circulating and getting the MIP reviewed by as many people as possible is really important as well. So is that like the participation at each phase is as high as we can make it, and also that like everybody's feedback is heard and like fed back then to the author. And as editors, we also need to make sure that the community feedback, where appropriate, is adopted by the author. If they want to adopt it, right? And like if they don't, then maybe it doesn't get approved by the community, right? If the community wants to go in one particular direction and the proposer doesn't want to take that direction, then yeah, that's about it, I think, as the MIP editors. It's a shepherding role to help the author and the community and to ensure that there's a high standard of MIPs and the MIPs are adhere to the process itself that we've designed.
Thank you, Brian. And also Philip is also here with us, and he's also a MIP editor. You can tell us more about your role and what has been your experience.
It's reviewing MIPs, looking at the early drafts, making sure that everything is in there, that every box is ticked, and that it has a good chance of going through the actual technical review phase. Let's see.
Great, thank you. I see a question here. Remy is asking how would the process look like after we implemented the changes, right? So I can show you here in the draft. There is a diagram we have here. Maybe if I zoom in, you can see it better. And the process will more or less have the same phases and the same structure. The only changes that we are introducing are in these phases, in the drafting and the review phase. So the research phase or the idea phase remains unchanged. This is the same. You have an idea and you share it with the community, you gather feedback, community sentiment, and build consensus around it. No? Once you are ready, you start drafting the proposal. I can give you the link actually, so you can take a look. Once you draft the proposal, you submit it as a pull request using the template. And then it's the MIP editors, the one who reviews this submission. If we implemented the proposed changes, the MIP editors group will be dissolved, and instead we will have a group of MIP facilitators. Right? Their role is very similar. Is more or less the same. Is to assist and guide authors in following the process. And to ensure that the quality of the new proposals meet the acceptance criteria. With the changes that we are proposing, this process will be a little bit more transparent and a little bit more clear. The acceptance criteria will be clear, and the MIP, how the MIP facilitators would work together and collaborate with MIP authors is a little bit more refined with the experience that we got. And once this proposal is accepted, it starts the review phase, right? And then everybody in the community is welcome to review the proposal and give feedback, and provide comments. That remains the same with the upgraded process. But we will have a pool of experts for each category who can provide a risk assessment. So they can explain to the broader community, even for those who are not very technical, what are the benefits, the risks, and the trade-offs of this proposal, given their expertise in the relevant area. So that we can all have a better understanding of the proposal, what it means, and the expected effects it could have. With all this information, the community will have some time to review again the final version of the proposal, including this risk assessment, and then have an open debate, also in open community calls where everybody can participate, so that we can have a better understanding of the proposal, and we can ask questions directly to the MIP author and the experts who reviewed it. And with that, the same, it's the community who decides whether to accept or reject a proposal via on-chain vote. And if accepted, then we can start with the implementation of the changes. So this is more or less the changes that we are introducing. only the drafting and review phase, and happy to hear your thoughts if you have any comments or ideas about it. Ben is asking for more details about the mass deliberation tools in the review phase. And we can see here in this section, let me zoom out a little. Some tools that we are proposing that we have already been testing. For example, the survey bot on Discord is a convenient way to leave feedback. So if you want to gather feedback about your proposal, you can use it. It's totally open source. It uses artificial intelligence to categorize and summarize the responses. So it's easier for you to understand without having to read all the comments in detail. You can have a quick summary that highlights the key points and the main ideas. You can also use polls to check community alignment if the community is supporting your idea and your proposal. We are also proposing some improvements to on-chain voting itself, and promoting some the creation of different interfaces and dashboards. So it's easier for the community to understand what's going on, what are the open proposals, and when you will be able to vote and how to do it and all that. And during the review phase, as we said, we want to increase transparency and introduce some open debates, where everybody can participate. So this is why the MIP facilitator role is so critical, because they will help coordinate with the different stakeholders and schedule meetings and collaborate with ecosystem players to increase participation in these open debates. The role of the MIP reviewers or these experts for each category is also critical, because they can provide comprehensive information for the community so that they can deliberate and they can have this conversation in an easier way, having all the information and having a more clear idea of what the proposal is, what are the risks, the benefits, and the trade-offs. And yeah, here you can see a little bit more in detail what changes or how the drafting phase will change, what will be the acceptance criteria for new MIP submissions, and what happens if the pull request is accepted, what the MIP facilitator will do, and everything else. And here you can see how the review phase will look like after in the implementation of these proposed changes. Did I answer your question, Ben? Nice. Good. Any other questions or just comments, ideas? Not at this moment. Okay. I also wanted to say that I'm always available if you have the time to read the proposal and you want to leave some comments. I will appreciate taking the time to review this proposal and helping us refine it. I'm always available in Discord and other social media. I'm happy to chat if you have any questions or any ideas or anything. I'm happy to chat with you guys. Awesome. Okay, so if there are no more questions, I think that's it for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining and for contributing to building together the future of Mina protocol. Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. Stay in touch.
Thanks.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.